Hey everybody, John here. Hope you're hanging in there, staying healthy, safe, and as active as possible during this challenging time. Put together a quick little video to talk about some of the updates to the 162 Canvas shell for the remainder of the semester. So there's kind of three main things I want to talk about. One is a new discussion, the ongoing bias discussion. Just want to show you where it is and kind of my goals for that. I want to talk about the reflection paper, show you where you can read up on the assignment, and then lastly go over the navigation module that I'm going to open up pretty soon on Canvas. So let's start with a new discussion. It was linked in the announcements, but it's also here under the discussion panel. So discussions, an ongoing bias discussion. So what I simply did is I redirected the discussion everybody had on the Yin Yang and You, that Roger Atkins paper on strategic mindset. I redirected that discussion and thought that we could use the mindsets that you all came up with for the Avalanche Science Program. You can see here Keith summarized them. Showcase, operations, slow and steady, challenge, anticipation, confidence and humility, and reassessment. How you can use those mindsets as ways to shed light on some of your biases. So if we scroll down to the end here, in bold, I invite you all to take a stab at discussing how one or more of those mindsets you came up with can help reduce bias and shed light on an unknown area with regards to your daily Avalanche Science Program operations. So dealing with unknowns in the snowpack, the weather, the group, and the terrain, how can the mindsets that you came up with help reduce those blind spots? I also included a really neat paper on uncertainty here if anyone has a lot of time on their hands. That's all optional. The paper's optional. I do want everyone to, if I scroll back up here, please post once or respond to another student before the end of the semester. So you got about 2 weeks to make a post or a response here. Just want to stay engaged and thinking about biases and blind spots. We'll go back to the home page here. Next thing is the assignment, the reflection paper. So the reflection paper is coming up. Just to kind of read about the reflection paper, you'll write a 2 to 3 page double-spaced paper that reflects upon and summarizes your first year experiences in the Avalanche Science Program. You should address your learning outcomes, your challenges, your successes, and lastly, put forth a plan for your upcoming portfolio. So you can start thinking about that portfolio, which is a key part of year 2 in the Avalanche Science Program. We want this paper to be, well written, grammatically correct, complete sentences. You can, if you're using any sort of sources, make sure to cite them using APA formatting. But you can use the first person. Think of it as like a structured journal entry more than a formal paper. But we want good quality writing. Here's a link to the online writing lab at the University of Purdue if you have any questions about APA formatting. So there's the grading breakdown into quintiles there. And then the last thing I wanted to chat about is to show you in the modules section, I've been putting together a navigation module. There's been some interest throughout the semester and the year about navigation. So I'm going to open this up on Canvas this afternoon. But there's a video that talks about compasses and declination. There's a host of navigation resources. There's a navigation article by an American mountain guide that works in Canada, Evan Stevens. He wrote a great article on kind of putting the tools together for navigation. There's a few resources that can help you check for understanding. Actually included a test from an orienteering course that I taught down in the Front Range at a community college down there. So if you want to take the test as a check for understanding, you can. And the slide notes from the presentation are here as well. So none of this is required, the navigation module, but I know there's interest in that. And if you're hanging around the house and you're looking for something to do, play around with your compass and some maps, and it's a good way to learn a skill that's kind of a dying art. In the navigation resources section, I will say there are a bunch of videos that I didn't make them. I compiled them from the internet, but videos on taking bearings in the field, taking bearings from maps. So those are definitely worth watching. You can practice shooting some bearings across your street or on some topo maps around your house. So hopefully that all helps explain what's going on for the remainder of the semester. So just to recap, the reflection paper, it is due on April 5th. So you have about a week to do that. And the ongoing bias discussion, I would love to see posts in there by April 10th when the course technically wraps up for the semester. That's it from now. As always, feel free to reach out if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. I'm around working from home. Thanks so much. Have a great day.